everybody, this is A Pouncing Cat, and welcome to a Minecraft video. I am here today on my Building with Pouncing world, but it's not the original world. It is actually the Bedrock world. As you may have seen, I have previously made one little episode that was like 10 minutes long, just kind of showing off what I've done so far building the Pouncing on Bedrock Edition, and it kind of just inspired me to let you all know basically why I haven't officially switched, because you have probably seen that some of my things are on Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, and well, other things are on the console edition. And I'm going to let you all in on why I have not officially switched to Bedrock Edition, why I'm kind of staying in between both. And so, I have 3 reasons here, as you can tell by the title. It's my top 3 reasons why. There are many other smaller reasons, but I don't feel like they are very important. So, there's just so many things, but I think that the first thing that I need to discuss, number 3, these are actually rated in order on how much I really want them to switch before I could officially change over to Bedrock Edition. Is that 3, like, old tricks, old things don't work. Even with the new release of Update Aquatic, as it didn't come out on the console edition of Xbox One, that's pretty much what deterred me from actually just switching over to Bedrock. That was one of the things why I just kind of went on to Bedrock and actually used it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have used Bedrock as much if the Update Aquatic had come out on console. I really wouldn't have a reason to, except for servers, which we already had the battle minigame, the tumble minigame, and the glide minigame for a reason. Right? So that's just kind of getting a bit off topic. Even though we have the Update Aquatic and all of the new water physics and stuff on Bedrock Edition, there are things that do not work. Number 1, doors. Doors do not work properly. They just don't. So there's some doors, they work properly. Where are the hinges? They're on this side, right? Right. Okay. Where are the hinges supposed to be? This side, right? So it's just breaking apart the handle of the door. Well, this side is alright. This side is fine, but the doors are messed up. Whenever you have double doors, it messes it up. When you have a single door, like over here on my Cloud Supermarket, it's perfectly fine. The hinges are on the right side, and you know that because of the way that your door opens. Then you place 2 next to each other. So let me go and grab the dark oak door, because that is one of the doors where it has like the handle, so probably is easiest. So look what side to place it on, right? But the hinges go on the opposite side. So okay, well, since those hinges went there, okay, well, maybe I'll do it on this side, right? I guess not, because I can't place them the opposite way without like going on the other side, and your door's ending up looking like this. And it just does not work properly. I don't know why, but it's not just doors of the things that don't work. There's various things. So the reason why I loaded up this world is because there are quite a few things in here that didn't end up working. So if you go and look in my Building with Pouncing house, every single morning, I go by and I pass this. I pass my pool table, right? And one of the tricks with the pool table is you put a sign underneath, and then you place a green carpet over it, and then it would look as though you had a pool stick through. Now, signs end up being shorter, so that trick no longer works, and that also could change many other things in different builds. I mean, I don't really have a list of those kind of things, but I mean, if you think about it, there could be a lot of things that could be affected in that way. Another thing is things in item frames. I'm pretty positive about this one. They're not the right way as they usually will be if you turn them. So, for example, I had flipped these terracotta blocks so they had looked nice, and I think I did that. And And when I loaded it up in Bedrock, it ended up looking like this. Instead, they just kind of like flipped around. But when you place them how they're supposed to be, like these prismarine, that's upside down. But if you place them like this, how they're supposed to be, they just kind of stay the same. But if you don't, then they flip around the wrong way. So that's quite strange. Another thing with which I've used in many builds is if I grab baked potato, why not? Doesn't really matter what item. Grab a sign and an item frame. Or not a painting, an item frame. I messed up, I misclicked. And if we go and grab an item frame, you know, what you can do is, you've probably seen this many places before. It's a really neat trick. You place something in an item frame, right? But if it's a 3D object, then there's something else that you can do. You can add a 3D object, and then you would be able to place a sign there. I can't place a sign there. But you would usually be able to create really interesting patterns where it looked as though the block was coming through the sign instead of just the item frame. And it created something that looked really interesting, and you could use it in builds a lot of ways. Because if you come out here, for example, when I loaded up this world in Bedrock, I had originally had this crafting table, and I had picture frames, and then hay for a farm. And then also inside for my, like my dishwasher, I believe it was the item frame was off, because there should be an item frame right here doing the same thing with this gray concrete here. It no longer works. There's also another thing that, like, this isn't really a thing that used to work, but it looks as though animals are a lot bigger. And I don't really know what other kind of category this would go in, but Mittens was just a kitten, and now she looks like humongous. I don't know. She used to be like shorter than the end rod, and now like her ears like are as tall as it. I feel like the animals are a lot bigger. So I mean, if you had like some kind of, I don't know, like chicken trap or something, if chickens are enlarged, then maybe that trap wouldn't work as well anymore, because possibly you couldn't spawn as many chickens in one area since they took up more space as their one entity. But I'm not quite sure if that is true or not, so that might cause something not to work anymore if you are creating something along those lines. So just kind of keep in mind that that is that. So, I mean, there are so many other things that still don't work. You know, in this version, if we go and find an armor stand, I don't know where they are. If we go and find an armor stand, you know, like there is these, and they have arms, and then in the other version, I don't think that they do. They might in the other version, but I don't know if they do an Xbox console edition. They might though already. I'm not sure. But I mean, you know, like these kind of things. And look at the image. What is it? It has no arms. Anyway, that's just kind of something else that I just kind of thought of right then and there. But that's kind of just like, there's a ton of things that no longer work if you transported a world over to Bedrock. You'll just find like a bunch of items on the floor if something doesn't work. Another weird thing is if you like build something with water physics and you know that don't work in normal edition, and then you bring them over to Bedrock, I guess they don't work. I don't know. This should be all filled in with water, but since I built it on the other version, it doesn't look as though it's working. But actually, there is something. Let's test this again and let's see what happens. So yeah, this is the exact same thing, right? You know, but if you build it on the other version and then transfer your world, water physics don't work, so you'd have to rebuild it. It's just, these kind of things are weird, because if you like build something like where the update aquatic wasn't out and you had used all these slabs, you built like a giant castle underwater, well, you'd be sad to know that you'd have to rebuild the whole thing, because it would still look the exact same way. So that's another thing that just doesn't work. But I mean, I think that we've pretty much covered a lot of things that just simply don't work, that would definitely need to be fixed. At least some of them would need to be fixed before I could officially move over to Bedrock. Another thing, this is the number 2 slot, and it is skins. So I mean, this might not be as important to all of you guys, but I mean, when I do a bunch of different things, some I do Bedrock, some I do on console edition. I prefer to use console edition because one of the reasons is because I have my right skin. But on Bedrock edition, in the shop, they don't offer the this birthday skin pack, which means I don't have my Pouncing Cat skin. Another issue with that is if I go in here and like, oh, I want to go and choose a new skin. Well, all it shows is like the most recent packs. I cannot go down anymore. Even if like I had another pack, it wouldn't let me see it. So you would have to go out of the game and go into settings in the main menu in order to properly change your skin, which is very annoying and it's ridiculous. I don't know why that happens. But that is just another, like, why does that happen? It needs to be changed. But I mean, the main thing is, some of the skin packs as well. It's not just that, but like, I don't think it might be there, but like, some of the like original skin packs, I don't know if they are in the store, but I don't think that they are. I don't think that the birthday skin packs or the normal like skin pack 1, skin pack 2, skin pack 3, skin pack 4 are there. Even if you already previously owned them, then they don't show up. So I don't even know like why this thing with the skins is happening, and it's just quite annoying because I mean, we go through, we buy all of these things and then sometimes they don't transfer over to the new version of Minecraft. And I think it really sucks for me because basically Bedrock came out pretty much almost before it was a couple months before I got a YouTube account. And, I was like, okay, well, I didn't even know about the Update Aquatic back then because Bedrock was out like a year before the Update Aquatic or something like that. And then they were like, oh, well, Update Aquatic isn't coming for console edition. No, you can't just stop updating that version. Some people still use it, is what I say, because of all of these issues that there are with Bedrock. And these are some of the reasons why people don't want to switch over. But I mean, skins, it's pretty important for me since that is like what symbolizes my YouTube character. I've like seen like one other person with my Pouncing Cat skin. I guess because it's not a very popular skin. That's why one of the reasons why I chose it. Also because it was a cat and I'm a Pouncing Cat. So you know what? Why not? But like I just find that you need to transfer all of the skin packs over if you do have that. I don't know. It might just be something with mine where it's not working, but it isn't working. So I don't know what that is. And that's very important to me. But there's something even more important than that. And that is something that probably will never change. But it's something that I definitely will always want before I switch over to Bedrock. You've heard me probably complain about it in most of my Bedrock videos. It is this. I don't like the menus. I don't like the inventory. I don't like how it's set up. It's not even, like, I don't like how you have to, like, click on this to see everything. I don't like how the new things are organized. They're, like, things are in different sections. There used to be, like, a redstone section. Now redstone section is in with miscellaneous. Now, like, all the tools sections. Some things, like, elytra used to be in the redstone section. All of these kind of blocks, some things were considered decorations. Now I don't even know where to find like the paintings and stuff. Are they in with the terracotta? I don't even know where they are. Are they miscellaneous? Okay, they're in miscellaneous, but like I don't like how you have to click on all of this, and in the search there's too many things. It needs to be organized better. There's just like I don't know where things are. I just like I get mixed up because they aren't in like the same order as they are even on the console edition, even though they're more widespread out. Although there are different ways you can set this up. You can also set it up like this. But it makes it even harder because you can can't see things even better. And like still, I have noticed though, for some reason, I feel like it's just also not as fast. If you have like your sensitivity up on 200 on console edition, it's quite fast, and I like it that way because that's what I have. I have my sensitivity like moving is 200, and I have my sensitivity for interface 200. And while I have the same thing on here, I feel like I move a lot slower than I usually would. Okay, that's just kind of dizzying. I'm sorry, people, but I just had to show an example. But I mean, this menu, it's just like I can't find anything. Like I'll be like, okay, for example, I couldn't find the armor stand earlier. I didn't know where it was. I thought, oh, it was probably near armor and like tools and stuff. But then where did it end up being? It was like down here next to the shulker boxes and a note block. Like, I don't know. I just feel like some of these things really need to be fixed. Also, like with the Heart of the Sea, isn't there like the shell too? Where's the shell? Is the shell in yet? It might not be in yet though. But let me just type in shell and see. Shell? Okay, shell isn't in yet. I'm sorry, but like they have that new shell coming in for the Heart of the Sea to make the conduit. But like, I just find there are some of these things that they need to be changed. Like with this menu setup, if we could click the same button in the inventory to change this, how you can see the inventory, how you can see just the inventory, how you can see how you can see just like this menu, then you can see the recipe book and the inventory. I need where you can change it over to the other menu. Because without that, I'm probably just never going to officially switch. But if they do update that, where you have the same menu as you have on all the console editions, because I'm pretty sure that they're all the same, then I'd gladly switch over. But I mean, also those other 3 reasons why all of these tricks and things no longer work. And I mean, in updates, sometimes they do change, but like, literally, this though, like, that just sucks. If you were like, oh, well, I built this underwater, and I was like, maybe one day they'll fix the water physics. Yeah, they will. And then you build an underwater castle. It's amazing. It's humongous. I'm not going to replace every single block to get the water physics right. Like, that's just no. So, I mean, there's just so many things that could be fixed, and that would those would probably be the 3 things that would allow me to switch over to Bedrock if at least either the skins or the inventory would change. The inventory is the worst. The things that don't work anymore, I mean, you can probably find more tips and tricks and stuff using this new version. But there's just so many things that could be updated, so many things that could be changed. Like, for example, stained glass. It just looks funny now. I'd used black stained glass for this because on the other version it kind of looked like you could still see through it, but it was like a nice kind of just like a little bit of a shade darker than like the white, because the white you can actually see through on like normal glass, which is quite hard to see through. That's why I usually use white instead of normal. But like this, I just like, it's hard to see through because all of those like lines in the middle. There's many things that could be improved on. And I mean, of course, everything can always be improved on in a game like Minecraft, where this is like an entire open sandbox game. But those are just some of the things that could definitely change if I were to switch over to Bedrock one day. Then if those change, I would definitely do it, for sure. But anyway, this has just been kind of an okay length video, just kind of explaining why I'm not switching necessarily right now until they make some changes, possibly later on if they ever do. But for now, I would just like to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!